Welcome to CB8 Speaks. I'm Christina Davis from Community Board 8 and also a member of the Madison Avenue Bid Board. And we are here today with Matt Bauer, President of the Madison Avenue Business Improvement District. Hello, Matt.
Hi, Christina. How are you?
Fine. Please share with our audience how you became president of the Madison Avenue Bid.
Well, it was about 17 years ago, and at the time I was the director of the Lower East Side Business Improvement District, which covered Orchard Street and Delancey Street, and we had the fortunate opportunity to be invited to work here up on the Upper East Side. So from having meetings at Katz's to having meetings at the Carlisle. Very, very lovely.
Oh, very nice. So what was your educational background that led you to this position?
Well, I studied historic preservation and city planning, both at Columbia and at Rutgers universities. And, you know, it's a good background. A lot of bid directors in New York City do have a background in planning, and it's important to get a broad education in how city government works, how communities work to do this type of job.
Well, that would be useful, and there are many historic buildings on the Upper East Side, particularly in your area.
And absolutely. No, we're actually in the Upper East Side Historic Districts, which covers much of the bid. And also we have about 2 blocks in the Metropolitan Museum Historic District. So you know, we have quite a few historic buildings and some individual landmarks as well.
Exactly. So the boundaries of Community Board 8 covered the Upper East Side from 59th to 96, from 5th Avenue to the East River. So what are the boundaries of the Madison Avenue bid that fall within the catchment of Community Board 8?
Sure. Oh, overall, the bid's southern boundary is at 57th Street, but for Community Board 8, it would be 59th Street, north to east 86th Street. Now, we also cover a little bit east and a little bit west from Madison Avenue, never as far west as 5th Avenue, never as far east as Park Avenue, but usually where the commercial buildings end is our boundaries on the side streets.
And who are the members of the Madison Avenue bid? I know longtime Upper East Side resident Bill Judson of Judson Realty is chair of the board. Who are the other members?
Yeah, absolutely. He is our chair, tremendous supporter of the organization from its founding. But we have a combination of property owners, commercial property owners in the district, as well as many businesses that are in the district. Some of them who are property owners and businesses, like each of the hotels in the district, are members of the board. We also have residents on the board, and thankfully, you, Community Board 8.
So within these boundaries, what is the complement of galleries, boutiques, hotels? How many of each?
Sure. Well, there are 5 hotels in the district.
Which hotels are those?
It's the Carlisle, the Surrey, and the Mark, which is one cluster in the 70s. And then we have the Lowell Hotel at 63rd Street and the Hotel Plaza Athénée at 64th Street.
Oh, yes. All wonderful hotels.
They are spectacular hotels and do so much not only for our neighborhood, but for the entire city, and showing the best foot forward. But we also have over 100 art galleries, which is something that some people don't recognize because some of the galleries are on the 2nd floor or around the corner, though we've been seeing lately more galleries opening up on Madison on the ground floor as well. And then we also have about over 300 boutiques, from some of the world's leading designers having their flagship boutiques to individual family-owned businesses that are up and down the avenue. Can't forget the restaurants that we have on Madison Avenue, which there are quite a few. Yes, there are. We have a lot of spas and salons that are on the upper floors that you'll see, and a very special new addition, the Matt Bauer, which opened up.
Which we'll talk about a little later.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's brought a lot of publicity.
Yeah, absolutely.
To the Upper East Side, which we'll talk about a little later.
It's about 500 businesses within the district that are more retail-oriented, of course, than office space as well.
So why do you think Madison Avenue is the most famous shopping area in the world, more than Worth Avenue, maybe more than Rodeo Drive?
Well, I mean, there's a number of things that make Madison Avenue unique, and one is physical size. That there's such a concentration of businesses from 57th to 86th Street. That's 29 blocks, a mile and a half of world's leading designers, which is really outpaces virtually every other district of its type, around the world.
Because of its size.
Absolutely. But another key feature is that so many of the clients that shop on Madison Avenue live here in the neighborhood. They live on the Upper East Side. And that community feel, that residential feel of the district and who its clients are really distinguishes it probably more than anything else, because the people that you see on the street are New Yorkers, are neighborhood people, and that makes a tremendous difference in the intimacy of the street, in the density of the street, in the pedestrian feel. It really does make
it so unique.
Absolutely.
So we talked about galleries earlier. I've been reading that there have been several galleries that were in Chelsea that have moved up to Madison Avenue.
Yeah.
What is this trend? Why do you think?
Yeah, well, Madison Avenue has long been a great gallery district, and primarily, of course, in the secondary market.
Yes.
But, Madison Avenue, because of its the type of buildings that we have and proximity to the great museums and auction houses has also been fortified as a great gallery district. And there has been a couple of big moves of people coming in, galleries coming into the district.
Major galleries.
Absolutely, and establishing on the ground floor. So within the year, we had the Gallery Buckholz, which opened up on 82nd Street. You had Dominique Levy and Gallery Perotin, which opened up at 73rd Street. And actually, within the last few months, actually few weeks, the Opera Gallery opened up as well. So
where is that?
That's on 67th Street on the east side, on the corner. Mm-hmm. And so you're seeing galleries once again reinvesting in this neighborhood. So many of the great shows in the art world happen, at the Armory, in our neighborhood. Many events that are taking place, from the Just Off Madison Gallery event,
yes.
which is wonderful. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a great program. To the Asia Week event, which focuses on Asian art that you find on the Upper East Side.
Well, we're going to get to some of those specialty in a few minutes.
It fortifies the areas of gallery district.
Yes. Now, you do sponsor events highlighting different countries.
Sure.
Such as China or Britain. Can you talk about some of those, elaborate on some of those?
Sure. For many years, we've done events with the Italian Trade Commission, which is located actually within our district in 67th Street as well, and done a number of events promoting Madison Avenue as the Italian Mile, which are the great collection of Italian brands. But this November, we had the fortunate opportunity to work with UK Trade and Investment and the Great Britain campaign to promote Madison Avenue as a British brand destination, and was called Great Britain on Madison Avenue, and we highlighted over 20 British brands that are located here in the district. And actually, we just had one more that opened up, Smyson of Bond Street, which just opened up on 61st Street. As a matter of fact, the Walpole Group, which is the group of luxury brands from Britain, actually said that Madison Avenue has the greatest concentration of British luxury brands of any place in North America. So that aided that.
Very interesting.
It is. And, we've done a number of events also promoting Madison Avenue in China. Most recently, that was
a big success.
Yeah, absolutely. We did a 20-page special section on Madison Avenue in Harper's Bazaar, China. But we just inaugurated a partnership with the sister city relationship with the Bund Association in Shanghai. And actually, a few years back, we had inaugurated one with Marunouchi District in Tokyo. But we did this great event in February celebrating Lunar New Year. And we called Madison Street to Madison Avenue. So Madison Street in Chinatown, Madison Avenue here, and we actually had lion dancers and dragons coming up from Chinatown up to Madison Avenue, performing in the stores. And what also makes that special is it was a partnership not only between our businesses, but the businesses and associations of East Midtown, the East Midtown Partnership, our neighboring organization, and the Chinatown Partnership.
And now there's a bid in East Midtown.
That's correct. So this was the very first marketing event that unified a bunch of different neighborhood business improvement districts, and it was celebrating the Chinese community here in New York and around the world.
That's so exciting.
It is.
But now also you promote various themes, such as the popular Watch Week.
Yep.
And Jewels in Bloom. Can you talk about those?
Sure.
Because they were very well received.
Thank you very much. The Madison Avenue Watch Week, which just happened in April, was the 6th annual Madison Avenue Watch Week, and it was an opportunity for the many watch brands on Madison Avenue. Actually, Madison Avenue is the largest concentration of luxury watch brands really anywhere, and each of them showcased their new collections in April in the stores themselves, and you were able to see the watches that were just unveiled at Basel World and at the SIHA show in Geneva. So we had watch collectors really throughout around not only the region but America actually traveled.
And who came to Watch Week?
Yeah, it was.
Who were the people that gathered to see all these watches?
There is a very strong community of serious watch collectors, not only in New York, but really around the country and around the world, of course. And we've had people traveling great distances to come to the event because they want to see the new watches. They want to see them when they're first unveiled. And
now, what about Jewels, though?
Yes.
Jewels is
so that, and actually, that event was sponsored by the Wall Street Journal. But Jewels in Bloom, and that took place in February, in the heart of the winter, around Valentine's Day, actually. We did an event with 14 jewelry stores on Madison Avenue. It benefited, actually, the playground partners of the Central Park Conservancy.
Because we're going to talk about some of the philanthropic events later.
Absolutely, but that was a showcase of jewelry amidst floral displays representing Central Park. So yeah, we've done a number of different events linking together businesses of a similar theme, because I think that's how when people shop, they looking for a particular product type, and they like to see the breadth and depth of what's available on Madison Avenue. So when you focus in on that theme, it makes sense.
Very successful. Well, let's go to your constituent services, because the BID has extensive outreach for your constituents and BID members, such as the security guards and sidewalk cleaning. So why don't you talk just a little bit about that?
Sure.
Because it's really beneficial, and then we'll talk about some of the other programs as well.
Okay, sure. No, that's actually the clean and safe programs of the Madison Avenue BID are the core services that the organization provides. Every day, from 8 in the morning till 8:30 at night, you'll see our uniformed, state-licensed public safety officers patrolling Madison Avenue, working with the police department, supplementing the services that they provide, but also providing visitor services, visitor support, giving directions, aiding people.
Now, is that per block or per so many blocks? How many for each?
Well, the sectors change throughout the day, throughout the different times, but we try to bring out the most people, obviously, when the most shoppers are out on the street, and into the afternoon and shopping hours. But we do run into the evenings as well, and they really do act as ambassadors for the Avenue. The Gleam team is what we call our sanitation crew, and they're actually working from 7 in the morning till 8 o'clock at night. And they sweep our sidewalks.
Because I know you like to have everything clean from 7 in the morning when the shop's open at 10.
Right.
It's very important that everything is looking really good.
Right. That's the goal, is by 10 in the morning, which is when the majority of stores open. Not everybody opens, and obviously we have restaurants that open up earlier, but from 10 in the morning is our goal. And actually, in the part of Madison Avenue, the south of Community Board 8 and Community Board 5, and where you see the office buildings, we try to get that done by 8 in the morning. We not only sweep the sidewalks, we remove graffiti and stickers and you name it, we clean it up and power wash the sidewalks. But it makes a difference in making Madison Avenue look as great as it should be. You know, people, when they come to Madison Avenue, not only from our own neighborhood, but from around the world, really want to see a street that is maintained.
No,
so the stewardship
really makes a difference.
Yeah, and stewardship of the district really is what the ultimate goal is for the neighborhood, for the neighborhood association like ours, and I think it does remain our core service. And those folks in uniform, they really do work hard, and we appreciate their effort.
Now, one other program I wanted to ask you, and one I know you like, which is Meet the Concierge.
Yeah.
What is this
absolutely.
about, and how does this help the district?
Sure. No, we have 5 hotels in the district,
right.
And there are many more hotels, you know, throughout our neighborhood and throughout the city. And the hotel concierge, you know, plays such an important role in recommending businesses and giving people an idea about where to go. And one of the
where
core,
to dine, what to see.
A core thing about a concierge is that, you know, they need to know wherever they send a client, they're going to be, their client or their guest in that hotel is going to be treated well. So we really do make an effort to make sure that the concierge community in the hotels know our businesses, are familiar with the store managers, give them an opportunity to exchange, you know, information. And so we do a Meet the Concierge event where we have a bunch of within and Where in New York Magazine and Where magazines where they could learn from the concierge who sit on a panel about what their needs are. And at the same time, we also do, at another time of the year, we do a networking event where the concierge and the store managers could meet each other. So it's just we're all in the same hospitality business trying to make the street strong.
So there's another program that I know the audience will find of interest, and that's the street trees and the tree wells, which our listeners, I know, would like to learn what you do.
Sure.
Because it's very, very interesting.
Well, thank you. No, thank you. We actually, it's a brand new program for us. We launched this spring, actually in March, tree well improvement program. And we work with individual businesses that would like, businesses and property owners, I should say, that would want this service. And we plant flowers. In the district, we have 29 tree wells right now that we're working with to make them more attractive.
Now the city puts the tree.
Right, the city puts the trees.
If something happens to the tree, the city replaces it.
Right.
And then the owners pay for the flowers?
Yeah, so the owners, the property owners or the retailers, and we do this as a service to them. In addition, though, you mentioned the trees, replacement trees. We actually just worked recently with the Parks Department to replace trees that were not in good shape or missing in the existing tree wells, and there's been a host of plantings.
Well, always after the winter, you have to evaluate.
Right. Right. So, you know, we're very fortunate to work with the great team at Community Board 8 and Latha and the Parks Department, and we make sure that, you know, we inform them about trees that need to be replaced or need some TLC, and we've been able to accomplish that.
Well, now let's move on to your philanthropic emphasis, which is very interesting. For instance, you have the very popular Miracle on Madison, which benefits the Memorial Sloan Kettering. So tell us about that. And you also mentioned the Central Park Conservancy, and then I know you have Playground Partners. Right. You work with them. So why don't you talk about Miracle on Madison first?
Sure. No, well, it's going to be our 30th anniversary for Miracle on Madison. That actually is any event for going on for 30 years. That's a big deal. Yes. But it was actually Miracle on Madison was founded by retailers that were on the avenue before the bid was actually created, and to give back to children in need in New York City. And as you mentioned, this year and years past, it's going to be benefiting the pediatric programs, the Society of Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. And that day, which is going to be this year, Saturday, December 3rd,
It's usually the first Saturday.
Of December. The participating stores donate 20% of their sales that day to the society. And we had 90 stores participating. And
tell our audience the money that was collected last year.
Over $200,000 was raised in one day. So, you know, if you're doing your holiday shopping, the day to start thinking about it is that first Saturday, December. Yeah, because 20% of your purchase is going to go to such an important, charity here in New York, and we're very, very pleased with the support that the retailers do. They recognize that this is an important neighborhood charity, and it is. Sloan Kettering is here on the Upper East Side, and benefiting not only our community but throughout the whole city region, and it's an important part. It's important to give back, especially during the holiday season, and we're very, very pleased that each year there's that commitment to make it happen.
And so then mention again what you did with Central Park Conservancy.
Yeah, sure. We've actually done a few events with Central Park with the Central Park Conservancy over the years. We've done a shoe event actually called Walk in the Park, which was a lot of fun. Yeah. I don't know, it was fun. We had a lot of shoe stores on Madison Avenue, but as mentioned, we did in this February the Jewels and Bloom event, Platinum Jewels and Bloom. Actually, Platinum Guild International was the supporter.
And who was the beneficiary?
This playground, right? The Playground Partners, right, which works on the playgrounds in Central Park. But once again, a very important neighborhood charity, and so many of the clients of Madison Avenue, as we spoke about at the very beginning, live here in our community, and it's important that we are consistently giving to causes that are community oriented, and the great thing about our community is that it also our community organizations, that they benefit not only our neighborhood but throughout the entire city. There's no more important institution than you'd find in Central Park, and so we all benefit from that.
So it's a wonderful collaboration.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to some of the new things that are happening in the Madison Avenue bid area, and one is the Matt Bauer, the former Whitney Museum, and then right across the street is the new Apple Store.
Indeed, indeed.
So isn't this exciting for all the other shops, though, that these two new institutions have come into the neighborhood?
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, in the last couple of weeks, we've actually had 2 new stores on that block. Both Monat, which is a French leather goods store,
moved right nearby,
right next door on the east side of Madison, between 74th and 75th Streets, and another store called Acquazzura, Italian shoe brand. And the nifty, both these are the first stores of these brands in the United States.
Oh, that's exciting.
So it has been a terrific.
So there will be a lot of traffic.
Absolutely, and we're also so pleased because the Matt Bauer, the same admission that for both institutions.
So you can go to the Met on Fifth Avenue in the morning, and the Matt Bauer on Madison Avenue in the afternoon.
Exactly, and that pedestrian traffic between the two institutions is absolutely terrific,
and will benefit all the shops in
absolutely between. I mean, so people that will be discovering these businesses along the way, and there's a lot to see between the two locations. So we're thrilled about that. And
that's very exciting. We were both, I think, at the community opening of the Matt Bauer,
absolutely,
where we saw lots of neighbors. That was a very exciting time.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And the Apple Store too. People are excited to see that in the neighborhood.
Exactly, and they've done a terrific job in the restoration of that building, and it's also a service to folks here in our community. So many people have Apple products, so it's just another showcase for our district.
And so then, what are some of the other new shops then? I think, because I know people think, well, there's a few empty stores on Madison Avenue, but there's a lot of new stores coming into the neighborhood.
Absolutely. We've since January, we've actually had 13 store openings on Madison Avenue,
That's
which
extraordinary.
It is. It really is. It's something else. And we, as I mentioned, we have stores like Acquazzura and our very first stores in the United States. We've had stores that have their locations in Soho that are moving to Madison Avenue, which is an interesting migration.
Exactly. Like Chelsea to Madison.
Exactly. It's the same thing. It's that reverse migration, but wanting to take advantage and meet our community. So places like Oriel Biederman Jewelry Store, Isabel Morant, which is a fantastic boutique. This week, Eero opened up on Madison between 78th and 79th. So Smith's on a Bond Street just opened up. Actually, I'm particularly thrilled about Sonia Riquiel, which was on Madison Avenue for many years, closed for a while, and now is back in a spectacular new store.
Where is her new store?
816 Madison Avenue, and it is, you can see the very unique interior design involving books. It's really quite amazing. And I should tell you, we're on the 20th. The Row is going to be taking over Townhouse on 71st Street.
And I saw their ad in the New York Times today.
Full page. So
that's very exciting.
It really is. As you're seeing new young designers opening up their first boutiques on Madison Avenue. So it just shows there's a lot of engagement and energy. And you're also seeing businesses that have been here for a long time doing major renovations. So Bottega Veneta. Jimmy Choo just is doing a flagship, new flagship. Jimmy Choo just expanded. So there's this tremendous amount that's coming, and we're looking for also Elie Saab is going to be opening up his first boutique in the United States.
Well, why don't you mention this Madison Avenue guide that I think that everyone would be interested about, and where can they receive a copy, and what is your website?
Yeah, sure. I should first say our website is www.MadisonAvenueBID, Business Improvement District.org, MadisonAvenueBid.org, and you can get an up-to-date map of our district, learn about all that's available and happening here. But we actually just launched, again, this beautiful map with Avenue Magazine. Of Madison Avenue, showing the location of every store, done by John Toranak, a pretty famous architectural historian and cartographer. And these are available actually in the Madison Avenue modular news racks, which you'll find up and down Madison. And so we're also glad to send them to you if you need.
So just quickly, what's going to be happening in the fall?
Well, we're looking to do a brand new art event in the stores. So we're going to be focusing again on our brand new Miracle, our 30th anniversary event, and a lot of new store openings that are going to be happening. So, but we're, like I said, really trying to bring a new art event to the boutiques. So to be determined, but to be announced. But of showcasing works, showcasing works of art again in our boutiques, which I think is something going to be
that'll be very exciting.
It will be, and part of a long tradition that we used to do an event called Madison Avenue where fashion meets art.
Yes, I remember that.
So we're going to bring it back in a new way.
Well, that's all very exciting.
Thank you.
And this was a wonderful conversation. It was a pleasure to be with you today.
Same here. It's always great to be with you, Christina.
Thank you so much.
All right.